The video you're about to watch is a trading blueprint from strategy to psychology. Now, who is this video for? This video is for struggling traders that want to get to that breakthrough phase where they actually see consistent results. You can also watch this as a beginner and it would still be super valuable, but I just think the ones that are intermediate traders and kind of with a bit of experience will take a lot more from this video because the value is just insane. And I don't say that like any other. Okay, the value is quite advanced, so you're not gonna hear what's a pip, what's a session, what's a pair. You're gonna hear real stuff that's actually gonna make a difference in your trading. And I'm gonna be honest, the end goal with this is for you to join me and to work personally with me. But if you're not new to the channel, you also know that I'm always giving everything I know for free. So in my YouTube channel, you got every single thing I know, right? Multiple videos on multiple concepts, on multiple things on my strategy, and you can actually get profitable by viewing all the videos. Okay, the value is already insane on the free side, so just imagine on the paid. If you're asking a question to someone but he tells you that in order for him to give you that information that you have to pay a certain amount, that guy doesn't know shit. If you're looking for a mentor, then obviously go for somebody that's knowledgeable, that seems to know what they're talking about. Doesn't have to be me. Just do yourself a favor and make a good choice on the mentor you decide to go with. And because it's a blueprint, it's gonna be a long one. So if you got a TikTok brain and you can't stomach 3 hours or 2 hours of just boring content, the truth is you will never make it. Okay? And sometimes you just gotta accept the reality. So I hope you're one of those serious guys that's just gonna sit through this and watch everything. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you take a lot of value from it. And just ask yourself, how many guys in this industry can actually talk about trading for 2 or 3 hours? Okay? Not many, right? Because they actually know nothing. So I hope you take a lot of value out of this, and let's get started. I want to show you guys as well, for the more curious people, how is it working on a one-to-one mentorship with me. So this is one of my students. Every single student has one of these personalized to themselves. We got some tasks. This is usually a quote, but we just put this because he's starting a prop firm challenge. And we normally have some tasks up there. We got some resources, my private indicator, how to install it in TradingView, because it is a code. You can't just search it in a public tab. We got some call recordings. We got a bunch of backtesting videos. I would say just backtesting videos, educational videos, that's about 20 hours plus of educational content, not counting the actual course modules. Okay, because what I promise is constant profitability within 3 months. And he's currently on week 5, absolutely smashing it already. He's on strategy refinement, so you can see there's like a bunch of videos on every single one. He's completing it. Of course, he doesn't have access still to the whole course, because we're getting it bits by bits, because every single time he completes a week, we get on a one-to-one call and we make sure every single piece of content is tackled. He absolutely gets it. There's no doubts about it, and we can move on to the next chapter, to the next level. Okay, and every single week there's like exercises to make, right? These could be marking out liquidities in the first stages, all right? A lot of technical stuff. So I give them an exercise and then we go over on the live. So for example, there's something like this. They gotta make it based on the image, and then they'll go something like this. I hope I'm not giving out too much spoilers in case you join us, but it's good for you to know in case you're already curious and over the fence to join us. It kind of works like this, all right? And if we go lower, we have a live markets tab and a backtesting one. So in live markets, he's constantly putting the trades he's taking, right, for me to keep an eye on and monitoring, because this is the actually important part, is monitoring the progress of the student, not only on the courses, but what he's taking, and giving me feedback on that. He also has access to me. He can DM me on private. Does this look good? Does this pair look good? Does this trade look good? I'm about to take it, and I'll tell him. You can see we got some vision, good vision. He's already predicting liquidity very well. Okay, we're talking about 1 month in a mentorship. All right, this is Completely valid, bro. This is my strategy to the T. Okay, could even see like 1 week ago he already had a win just on my strategy. You can see how he's reading liquidity. Price going from one liquidity to another to another. He took advantage of the London close to trace when they got exempt for a win. That's brilliant. That's my strategy to the T. And we're talking about someone that has 1 year experience as a join me to make sure he gets to profitability the fastest way possible. Okay? We got some backtesting sessions going on. I gotta monitor these. Okay? See if he's backtesting correctly. See what mistakes he's making in order for me to correct them at the spot so he doesn't make them anymore. We got resources for them to take on a backtesting or like Excel spreadsheets to really make the data gathering way more detailed. We also got the premium Discord, as you know, where I send my live analysis and my signals. Okay, every single day I'm dropping stuff over here. Not only the signals, boys. The important part isn't the signals. Okay, they join. They're here for a lifetime. In case they don't manage to learn how to trade, which would be impossible, they get the guarantee of being here for a lifetime and get my profitable signals forever. Okay, until I die, basically. But as you can see, it's not only just signals or where I think price is heading or what it's gonna do. It's me explaining constantly my vision, and people stay here 1 month, 2 months, they get the vision. They understand what I'm seeing. They understand what price is doing. And as you can see, I'm always explaining, not just giving out random signals for a 0.20 R. All right? Like a lot of the influencers like to do here. So we even do live trading calls. We got a students charts tab here for them to talk. We got the student wins, which is public for everyone to see. We got this trader that's smashing it. We got a bunch of wins. Some are from the signals, but most of these is people actually take them themselves. And you can basically join the free community and you can watch this page for yourself. It's a couple of wins of the boys, right? This guy has been smashing it a lot, but we got multiple of guys in here winning. All right. Then we got videos, some exclusive videos that I'm always dropping. Okay, trade breakdowns, uh, recordings of live trading calls, the backtesting videos, which are really important because the backtesting videos in here on the exclusive side is where I'm giving out stuff more detailed, right? I'm not just doing it like I do in YouTube, where it's more for entertainment purposes, and I'm just taking trades and keeping the explanation short. In these backtesting videos, I'm keeping the explanation kind of long because I want people to understand what I'm seeing and how I trade. Okay, and at the end, it's some resources tab right here, and the indicator. Okay, it's just some small stuff, and the actual group call Discord thing for us to have the calls on. With only 1 month, they're already monsters, as you can see. Look at this. Look at this win. Okay, SL, nice reading of price. As you can see, nice win. Okay, almost a win, which would have been nice. I mean, they're not here to lie. Okay, we keep it realistic. Okay, it might be backtesting, but if you're gonna lie, then it's just we're just losing time in here. They will show me losses they took as well, right? The important part is to be realistic and learn from the mistakes. But in this case, I've been creating monsters for like just in 1 month of being in the course. Like sometimes I tell these guys, man, you're gonna be a monster. You're gonna be a monster, bro. It's already 1 month and they already seeing what I'm seeing in the live markets. All right, even before I send out the analysis on Discord. But yeah, you can go over my Instagram and take advantage to follow me there, please. You can see not only client wins, right? We got a bunch in here, people passing challenges, people giving a little bit of thanks, but it's a lot of community in here as well, I will say. But then you can see some of my wins, which are not that relevant, little 50K, you know. But there the testimonials would be way more important. Like, hello everyone, I just take Dylan. This is Wick. Shout out to him. Uh, yeah, you can't actually see that much with a PC. But yeah, I started trading 5 months ago. 5 months ago with him and his friends from fucking Nepal. Okay, anybody can make it, and they learned the strategy for free, and they passed their first phase one, which is crazy. Here is friends as well for the incredible insights on liquidity and smart money traps. Of course, you can see I got, for my size, I would say I have plenty. Want to take this guy literally turned fuck. This guy literally turned 10 pounds into 150 in one day just by doing a ping pong on gold. He's sold gold, I believe, and then bought it back up. So he caught the two moves of gold in a day just by reading liquidity. Okay. Maybe you could zoom in. Maybe you can read better than me. Okay. As you can see, I'm a bit blind, right? Even with the glasses. But yeah, Cloud Dog, another good guy. Hi everyone. Market structure liquidity guide. Yeah, Dylan's YouTube channel.
Hi, my name is Harsh
Here.
Mishra and I am from India. 6 months ago, when I started to learn about financial market and trading, I was just hopping from one tutor to the other and watching different YouTube channels. Then finally, I came across a YouTube channel named Dylan Torres, which has helped me a lot in developing my trading style and building my psychology. Then I joined their Discord server named G Trading Group. I would like to thank Dylan for continuously supporting me
No
and
problem.
holding my arms in the trading journey. Thanks a lot, Dylan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Afri Trade Hub. Mo. A lot of SMC guys that just became a lot better. This guy just got 8R, I believe, or 10R. He goes crazy with the trades. Another one. Another one. I truly appreciate that you share with everyone in this group. Your mentorship has been a game changer. Looking forward to growing even more. Of course, trading liquidity changed my whole perception on trading.
Hello everyone, I'm actually a day trader and I've been struggling recent times until I finally came across Drillon, and he was one who tried to really put me through beyond my struggles. So the key aspect that I've learned so far working from him is he helped me understand the difference between my expectations and the realities of trading. So there is a gap in between that I have to try to understand. So that was the main thing that I really learned. And so far, I think Drillon really taught me the mechanical approach to trading and how to deal with patience and waiting for the right setups. So those were really key for me. And also, he also taught me how to think in probability, because the market is always random and there's no perfect way of trading in the market. So thinking in probability really helped me understand how and when to enter
You
and
know how
exit
many
my
traders
trades.
don't know that?
So those were really the key aspects of.
What he said there, I know how many traders don't know that. That knowledge is worth gold, bro. And that's free knowledge that I got from the videos,
My
though.
trading that really improved me. So I'll be very grateful to Drillon for helping me understand my process of being a trader, and I'm not 100%
Yes,
professional.
sir. And most of these guys have never paid me a penny, you know? But just because you provide so much value, right? They're good to say, yeah, I'll make a testimony for you. Like, you helped me a lot, you know? And that feels super good, you know? That feels super good. Thanks, bro. I came a long way thanks to you. Okay, yeah. The backtesting, we'll look at it afterwards. Again, look at this. This guy is 15 years old. He's 15 years old, getting a payout of 1.2K. Most of y'all are still dreaming about a payout. There's a fucking 15-year-old getting a payout like that, right? With decent money. right? Decent money. Let's be real. It's decent money. You wouldn't say no to 1.2K, and that's a 15-year-old making it. Now, if I was struggling and I would see a 15-year-old making it, kind of like when you go online and you see the 16-year-olds driving a Lambo, and so I would be fucking pissed, bro. I would be fucking pissed. And look at this. He got a payout, and this was him 2 months ago. I only came across Dylan challenge one day. His content is pure gold. His videos are full of valuable insights, making complex topics easier. Dylan helped me explain liquidity and smart money traps. I had a couple free consultation calls with him. Around the same time, I've been doing this. Yeah. Their combined knowledge has helped me see the market a different way. Fucking awesome. You offer information to everyone. Truly impressed. Risk management, my psychology has helped me a lot. Traders go their knowledge as a critical. Yeah. I'm really. Yeah. And I'm not surprised. Entirely grateful and thankful for him and all these guys that drop out testimonials. But it's not a surprise because our mission is to drop as much free value as possible. And great free value, advanced free value. Give out everything we know in order to help people, in order to leave a legacy, okay? That's why if you don't know me, if you're watching my channel for the first time, it's just for you to get an idea of what I actually know and if my content is actually legit before you actually step into these 3 hours of video. Again, with my guy Dylan, shout out to him. I've been doing for more than 5 years. 5 years, bro. 5 years. He's probably trading more than me, right? I still am not at 5 years, bro. I'm getting close to it, but I'm not at 5 years. I learned various concepts, traded different strategies, going all over the place, still totally confused. I knew about liquidity and tried to learn smart money traps on the journey. He landed on my page. Who better to teach you smart money traps than me? I'm always talking about them, and you'll never see me switch. His way of playing is top notch and getting interested. Not only that, when I think good, talk about everywhere the same exact things. No changing strategies for content. Exactly. And joined our private group, and guess what? In less than a month, I was able to understand the concept until I could boldly take the trades on my live accounts. This guy was taking the trades before I even sent them. He was even like taking the risky trades towards the actual safe areas where you could take the trades. All right, you're gonna understand what I mean by that in this video later on. But this guy was just crazy, and who was making a ton of profits even before he sent the signals. I found myself having the same vision as him and mostly everyone in the group. This is what I fucking mean. Because, bro, I got a lot of wins, but there's a lot more client wins. And this is what I want, right? Sometimes my students are getting wins. Well, I'm out dry because maybe they're trading different pairs. People might say, "Oh, but your clients are going to win, but you aren't getting wins." But bro, that's the fucking point. That's the fucking point, is for them to be able to take the trades themselves, not having to need me all the time, right? If they can take the trades by themselves, that's my goal, is to make them consistently profitable without me in a span of 3 months. But some of them, like you would have seen, they're already taking trades by themselves within a month or 3 weeks. Or I even had a guy that before our even first call, he caught a win just based off the liquidity concepts that he saw on the first week of modules. And the first week isn't even the strategy. The first week is some basic stuff. It's just mindset and market basics. All right, there's a liquidity video, but the actual complete strategy is in week 2, just to not overcomplicate the stuff. You only get that with insane value, all right? Yeah, we don't always available and quick to respond. Yeah, because they have full access to me. Hey, everyone, doing well. I've learned a ton of being a support and advice. It's next level, of course. YouTube videos have been a huge help. Breakdowns in a way actually make sense. Like all the others I watched before. This is music to my ears, you know? Just getting started with a clear vision. Yeah, starting out trading with the good information is it's a blessing. It's a blessing, really. I started with bad, so it took me way more time than some of these guys that land on my page on their beginning stages. Right? Doing backtesting right now and see much improvement. I used to always fail before, so man, thank you so much for this. Man, you're gonna see how I was feeling in the past. You're gonna see in this video. After 1 week of watching his YouTube Discord post setup, and finally I had a call with him, and so open and informative about his SMT strategy. The information he shared has helped me to understand well the market and how more the market operate. Of course, within 1 week of content, bro, 1 week. And he was smashing it as well on the private group. And this guy, it's just got he just got funded. He just passed the challenge or whatever. They really helped me understand some of the basic strategies and technicals of trading. I personally have taken a few setups shared for free here. You see? You see? And they all worked out well for me. My God, bro. My God. And they helped me pass my first funded account. We got people funded, man, for free, with free knowledge and free signals. So imagine if I was someone that was there not taking advantage and seeing this whilst blowing accounts, I would be pissed, bro. I would be pissed. So I hope this pisses you off for you to finally take action. Okay? And yeah, he said after it, he joined us. I hope this really pisses you off, bro. I hope this pisses you off and you really take advantage of this video to actually come clean and start off trading good. All right? Taking trading seriously. All right? You're going to see my complete strategy and some psychology lessons. Huge psychology lessons. All right? You have to hear this stuff again and again. And give me a follow on Instagram because I'm dropping a lot of stories in there, always talking about trading, always giving sauce about trading. As you can see, my reels as well is different to the content on YouTube. Some short reels like prop firm risk management, some stuff. And then you can kind of like my lifestyle a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Give your boy a little like. Hey, I hope you guys take the most out of this video and let's start. So before we even start and I start telling you what you need to do, and you're probably gonna be asking yourself, who the fuck is this guy telling me what to do? Is he even a trader? So I'm the type of trader that you'll never see hopping on trends, switching from strategy to strategy, bringing out this new best strategy of 2025, 2026, I've been constantly evolving, okay? I've been figuring out more stuff about my strategy. I've been becoming a better trader. But I still follow the same principles, the same foundation, and the same strategy. This is my first ever YouTube video on the channel, uploaded 9 months ago. Okay? The thumbnail isn't exactly what it was in the past. I kind of changed it to see if the video would revive himself, but it's me calling out the CPI trade. Hope the quality isn't so bad. I'm doing a trade breakdown for the CPI trade I just called in on the Discord. As you can see, that trade was sent right here on the USD folder. It was still before news because the news impacted me at 2:30, and yeah, I took the trade like 40 minutes before. So yeah, still with the same concepts as you'll see towards the end of this video, okay? And if you put in the work, you can actually do the same and call out not only trade like this, but also call out the news and know most of the times where price is going. But as you can see, I started this with some expertise. And what I wished I had done was document more of my journey, even when unprofitable, even while struggling. Because then, towards this point, I would have even more credibility because you would have seen on my YouTube the times where I was struggling. But I promise you, it has never been rainbows and sunshine. And it still isn't. But at least I can promise you, and I've been seeing this, okay, that only with my YouTube videos you can become profitable. But they're not step by step on what you should learn. Okay, it's kind of all mixed. So you will need to make the extra work in order to become profitable. But towards the end of the presentation, I'll present to you a faster way that you can become profitable. Okay? And as you can see on my YouTube videos, you have a playlist for trading related videos, trading talk videos. These contain more of psychology videos. This 21 backtesting videos, all from 30 minutes to 1 hour to 1 hour 30, maybe. Okay, super valuable. Backtesting videos are super valuable, super underrated. Is where you actually get to see how the strategy actually works from the creator and him putting all the stuff together. And if you think backtesting is gay, you're not taking this shit seriously. Because backtesting is necessary for you to get the technical edge. Let's say two people have been trading for a year in the live markets. One has just been live trading, so he has 1 year experience on the live markets. But the other has also been trading 1 year in the live markets, but he has been backtesting throughout this period. So he has like 10 years worth of data. He has seen 10 years worth of charts. Who do you think it's better at trading? Obviously, the one that has been backtesting. That guy has way more experience, has been seeing way more of his setup, and actually has gathered data to know how his strategy is supposed to play out. We're going to go deeper into that later on in the video, but backtesting videos are the most important you can watch. Once you've watched all the basic stuff, all the confluences, okay, it's time to put together. I'm gonna watch the backtesting videos. And I think you can do that, backtesting the period for yourself, then look at my video and actually compare the vision. If you're trading the same way as me, watch what period I backtest, go backtest for yourself, and then compare both together. Okay, see if you had the same vision as me. See if you had the same trades. If I was looking for longs, why were you looking for shorts? Okay, and you ask yourself those questions, and I'm probably going to answer them at the video because of how I'm explaining how I'm seeing the charts. And you guys might be saying, yeah, but backcasting is still gay. Bro, I'm not cheating in those backtesting videos. I simulated it beforehand, and I go to backtesting straight ahead, no cuts. All right, so you know it's legit. And I trade the lower time frame. So no, I cannot memorize the 1 minute throughout 5 years worth of data. Okay? Be real with yourself, guys. And it's 21 videos. Okay? And I could do way more. This is the easiest type of video for me to do. Okay? It's nothing. I don't gotta prepare myself. I don't got to look at examples. I don't got to do nothing, basically. Not even think of an idea. It's just pull up a chart, simulate the date, and go backtest. Right? Easiest thing for me to do. I know it's not easy for the other guys because they're unprofitable, but I can do that easy because I'm profitable. I'm profitable and I can just backtest and get out of the sessions 90% of the times profitable because I don't know how to trade and it's backtesting. So pretty much easy. There's no psychology involved. This is to know the strategy, okay? You gotta know the strategy first, then worry about psychology, okay? Like we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna go over the technicals and then psychology, all right? And just for you to see some of the love I've gotten throughout this period of doing YouTube. These are kind of old as well. I have not been screenshotting every single one of them, but you can see I watch all your videos, love your videos. I've been following YouTube videos, and I really appreciate the effort you're putting into sharing your trading strategy. Your strategies have been incredibly insightful, and they've helped me understand the markets better. I've gotten dozens of these. Okay, maybe not hundreds yet, maybe due to my size, but hey, I'm getting there. And the purpose is to really make a difference in the world, okay? It's to leave a legacy. Once you become profitable, okay, you learned it a certain way. Now it's your turn to teach to others. And that's where I've been preaching. So you find insanely valuable content in my YouTube. That's why I get this message. Even though you see my size, I have 2K subscribers. I've been getting these type of message since the 500, since the 1K. Because I'm providing more value than others. Sometimes I look at other content creators that are traders. And I'm asking myself, like, they got views, but why don't they get as much love as me? Or why do they only got like this amount of followers? And then I dive deeper into their content. There's no fucking value. There's no value within their videos. They're not explaining shit. All right, like trading is hard enough. Nobody cares. All right, you might scam a few beginners, but you're not gonna get real people, okay, real serious people, if you're trying to tell people what's a pip, what's a pip, what's a session, blah, blah. That shit ain't gonna make anyone profitable. Okay, that's good. That's the basics, perhaps. But if that's all you know, then that's shit. You don't get this type of messages by telling people what's a pip, okay? Like I've said, you can go over all my videos and really become profitable. I've seen this. Okay, I have countless of guys that have never paid me and they trade like me. It's just a matter of time before they can actually get the same success as me, or maybe they lack something in their trading that they don't see for themselves. But we'll get to that soon. Just look at more of these. Bro, you're on the ready. Solid videos, bro. I'm learning a shit ton from it. I appreciate from you. This is just to build credibility if you guys are new around here and you don't know what I do with my content. Okay? Because I'm really about to tell you this stuff coming ahead in the video is gonna be saucy, guys. It's not one of those videos that you're gonna learn what's a pip, okay? I'm sharing my trade today. Dylan videos has been helped me incredibly lately. You don't do this by teaching basic stuff. I found, and I kind of like the way backtesting. Yeah, the chart looks ugly because it's not easy. It's not what they make it seem with the lines. I'm gonna show you that later by the market structure, how they tell you price moves when you're a beginner, when it doesn't in reality, because most people lose. Look at this. I trade more like you and I get your analysis. Someone who understands what you just show in this video will know that you're a genius, man. Okay, he's on the oh my god. Finally, with some real shit here on YouTube. I saw all your videos. You're a sniper. Great explanation. Thank you for attempting to read. You can read all these. You can read all these. People from all over the world, right? We got tons of guys from first world countries to third world countries. Nobody here crying. Okay, put in the fucking work. If you can't manage to pay for a course or a mentorship, put in the fucking work, bro. You can see there's valuable content out there. Not just me, but everywhere. But if you're focusing on the fucking day in the lives and fucking Lambos all over in the flex, that's cool. I do the day in the lives as well. But it's crazy because in my YouTube journey, whilst I've been growing, my day in the lives do way worse than my trading videos. Okay? How many traders can say that? How many traders can say that my trading videos do way better than my day in the lives? And I'm talking about day in the life of me in my mother's basement. I've been living outside of my continent, okay? I've been in Asia, Thailand, Malaysia. Okay, I've been traveling around, doing crazy stuff. And still, my videos would get way more on the trading aspect. And that's what I built my YouTube foundation on, okay? It was on pure value, right? But at least before the YouTube even started, I've created a Discord. And on the Discord, it's basically like a track record. It's basically like a track record where you can check for yourself months and months of analysis and free signals. Because yes, I was doing free signals at the time. I was dropping right here, me and my partner Thomas, which you'll see once you join the group. It's a free community right in the description, okay? And you can see I was dropping trades on USD, GBP and you have my partner Thomas dropping them on gold, silver, and then later on start to add some trades in USD as well. And you can go check this out for yourself. You can even backtest the period and go watch what I was doing in that period. Same thing with the backtesting videos. You can backtest and go through to compare it to the backtesting videos, or you can compare recent live markets and go compare what vision I had in the live markets. You can really scroll all the way to the past, or like June 2024, if I'm not mistaken, is where we started all of this, or maybe even beforehand. Dropping crazy value. Free analysis every single day on EU and GU, at least for me, and then my partner Thomas on gold. And then later on silver as well. A bit more on feedback of it. Thanks for everything you share with everyone. Always. This guy, finding service is probably one of my luckiest moments. If you're active, you can learn a ton from people here. That's absolute facts. Because I've seen people here that have like 6 months of experience, bro. 6 months of experience. They would absolutely crush me when I had their same experience. Okay, when I had 6 months of experience. They with 6 months are way better than me with 6 months of experience. And they be active, they be around profitable traders, talking them on a daily basis. All right, do you think they're not getting good? The guys that don't get good is the guys that just join and I don't know, they trying to look for the secret formula. Oh, I joined the Discord. There's no secret formula. There's no how to turn $1 into a million in 15 minutes. There's not that. I'm just closing because those are the losers. Okay. You do what you want. You don't need to be active in this group. You can join and do whatever, consume some of the sauce. If you're kind of shy, you can stay in the sidelines. All right. But that's not where you're going to learn. Nobody's coming to reach you besides the scammers, maybe trying to impersonate me to teach you how to trade or figure out what your problem is with trading. All right. If you join, be active. That's the best you can do. Right. And you have access. I'm not only talking about me. We've built a huge community filled with people that's funded. They are funded. They're professional traders. There's guys out here that are absolute beasts. Not only me and Thomas. Okay? You'll see them once you get there. I might not be able to respond to your question right at the go, but they will. There's a lot of them. And you build a community, and once you get profitable, maybe you can hang around these guys. And I promise you, if you join and you just drop your country, hey, I'm from Serbia. You might get 1-2 guys, hey, I'm from Serbia as well. I said this a lot. And you can make connections. Because most of the times, these connections that are actually valuable, we only find them online, okay? It's very fucking hard to having a friend that's entrepreneurial, trader, blah, 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 all of that. You know, we all know how hard it is. And having all the exact good things, that's like personal development. Most of the times you actually need to find them online. Me and Thomas didn't meet in person. We met online on a mastermind of another content creator. I'm from Portugal. He's from Czech Republic. And you guys have the possibility to join this community, tag your country, and maybe find out someone that lives next to you. Maybe start connecting with people that are a few kilometers away. If your country isn't that big. But even if it is, at least you guys join and you're speaking the same language at least. We got people from all over the world. I can bet you. Okay? Wherever you're from, South America, North America, Africa, Oceania, Asia, we got it all. Okay? So now, I was dropping daily analysis on a regular. My partner Thomas as well. Why did we went paid? Okay, everything used to be for free. But you need to keep in mind that the human mind takes free things for granted. Okay? And unless someone pays for something, they won't take it seriously. Think about it. You find a $50 bill in the floor. Will you spend that $50 bill the same way you would spend $50 that you gain from your work? You're not. You're gonna blow it so quick. You're gonna spend it on some bullshit, right? The same thing goes for something that's free, okay? And I could even give my services for free. People back in their mind will say, well, it's free, it must be shit then. If it's free, it must be shit, right? And so why should I be doing things for free if I'm spending my time on people that's not even taking shit seriously and then quit and make my hours go in vain? Will you do 30 hours of free work? You won't. So why should I? Okay? I'm still providing lots of free value on this YouTube. I cannot just give you my full attention personalized to you yourself in private if you're not actually down to join my mentorship and show me that you're serious. Okay, I hope you understand that. I have 2,000 subscribers, which isn't a lot, but just imagine 2,000 people that want to learn from me. So most of the times, we got people that want to become my friends and want me to share their trades in private. I can't respond to all of y'all. I can maybe drop you a little message, but I can't be your friend every single day sharing you my analysis. It's way better for you to join our group and just post the trades there. I don't know if you're seeing me as mean, okay? I'm busy, guys. I'm busy. I have all this stuff. Okay, I have trading, I have content creation, I have mentorship students. I cannot give you my attention. I cannot, and I gotta respect people that actually pay, right? Okay, but like I say, there's still huge amounts of value on the Discord for free, and I'm gonna show you because I was dropping daily signals, okay? Daily signals or whatever when I had to trade. Talent. Okay? And if you're taking advantage of the group, you might have seen I sent a signal yesterday on xauusd and I'm currently on 1 hour floating. This is no mentorship stuff. This is free. Let's skip this guy. This guy doesn't know shit. So right now the position is currently 1.5 hour up. We're just chilling. It's still Asia session, still morning. So right now we just gotta wait and see. The position is looking good. I give it as a signal on EU. If you took advantage, then well played. If you're not still in the group, it's still for free. Limited for a limited time though, because I'm not gonna keep you giving free stalls, and you can easily enjoy this life just by taking the signals. But hey man, if you're not taking advantage, just stay broke. Just stay broke. I don't know, bro. Like giving you free signals, okay, and you're not taking advantage, but then come on my DMs crying. I don't know. I've given basically everything, okay? Teach people how to trade, give free signals. These motherfuckers only want free prop firm accounts. That's all they want, bro. They get the dopamine from blowing challenges. I don't know. But yeah, you see me dropping the analysis. But the thing that also put me off was like people wasn't taking it seriously. I was dropping analysis and people weren't reacting or leaving emojis or something. Like let me know. Let me know if you take. But sometimes I did get some love shown. Like literally, I've gotten people from Africa that said, "Hey, I lost some money, but I made it back thanks to your trade idea." A kid from Indonesia literally said, "I made $50 because of your signal." That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I wasn't so big at the time, but I was still not the same trader because I've been evolving, but I was still a decent trader. And I was still giving everything for free. But you were taking it for granted because it was free. And it wasn't no negative RR shit. You can pay $200 and get negative RR bullshit and fucking scammy ass copy signals. I was talking to a guy one time and he was telling me, bro, I used to watch your analysis every single day when you was dropping them for free. And I asked him, were you dropping reactions? Were you dropping emotions or something to let me know? And he was like, no. Exactly. You didn't let me know. Maybe if I was shown a bit more love, maybe I would have continued. Who knows? But I want to make a change. And in order for me to make a change, it needs to hurt you. You need to be pushed forward. Okay? If I drop 10K on a fucking mentorship or whatever, if I'm on a situation, if I'm on a regular situation and I drop thousands on a mentorship, I better get off that mentorship profitable. I'm not gonna like just keep dreaming or think that I'm profitable now when the work is done. I better fucking make that shit become true. I'm not finna spend this amount of money and just sit on my couch. I'm gonna consume whatever that's on the mentorship and I'm gonna become a profitable trader in this case. Right? It needs to hurt you. It needs to hurt you for you to move. All the content that you need, it's on YouTube. Are you watching it? Maybe you're just watching the day in the lives. Like this motherfucker here. But yo, why I sell mentorship, right? Does it cover for my lifestyle? Absolutely fucking not. I only started charging for my services after 2 or 3 months of living in Thailand already. So I was already there. I couldn't even, bro, I was charging $100 for one-to-one calls every week. Basically the same thing now. Okay, with way more stuff, but it's basically the same principle and it's still the same person actually doing it. Okay, and couldn't sell nothing. Okay, couldn't sell nothing. I still went paid, still started to be genuine though, and give $100 a month for one-to-one calls every single week for an hour time. That's basically saying I'm receiving $20 an hour, which is basically a 9 to 5, a decent 9 to 5 pay job, and still couldn't sell nothing. People taking my generosity for granted. And some people, oh, but wow, why are you charging that low? You must need that money. It's not that I need that. It's not that I need those fucking pennies. It's that I'm being generous for you to not spend a bunch. But it's still gonna look, well, just on $100. Maybe it's shit, you know? And right now, even though I'm a better trader with a better system instructor from a mentorship, it's basically the same person teaching, and people will actually be happy to pay 4 figures for it. And I still, during that point, was doing 30-minute mentoring class for absolutely free, as you can see. I didn't expect this because once you get in a call with a trader that has done it before, okay, that has gone through the journey, you can actually identify what you're missing. And maybe if it doesn't know much, you can give him a ton of sauce on what's, we're going to get into that, the best concept of my strategy that people always want me to teach them. So, who the fuck am I? My journey. I dropped a video on my journey for a little bit. You can see. In the past 6 months, I've lived in Koh Samui, Thailand. Look at this one. It feels like this. I've lived in Bangkok. Make sure you backtest. Make sure you flex for the brokies. No, no. I lived in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Boys, the scenery is crazy out here. Got my little friend here. And now, I live here in Portugal.
Talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. Huh?
What else do you want? Okay? Not a random guy, right, living in his mother's basement. So, just to explain it real quick, I'm Portuguese, immigrated to France at 15 years old, got into e-commerce, okay, started trading, became profitable, and then actually began to travel across the world. But this, as you know, wasn't all rainbows and sunshine, okay? It wasn't success overnight. As you'll see, I got into commerce, right? And I was doing decent. I was a college student, right? Making a bit of decent money. Not the crazy e-commerce money you see. $200, $400 profit, okay? In order to cover for my monthly expenses and also put some money on the side. It was a bit decent. Even on Christmas, I remember I was doing like 700 in profit or close to 1,000. Only by working about 15 minutes per day, right? It was just filling orders, though the work was mostly done. You can see how I did almost 22k euros in revenue and then $4,000 in the second store. The profits in the revenue is only like 20% of margin, right? And so this covered for my monthly expenses at the time and got me to around a 10k net worth. But then I knew I had to do something with the money. The money can't just stay in the bank and I'll get rich. Okay, I already had some type of financial literacy to know that, okay, I got to scale or use this money for something. And that's where I got influenced by a friend And the trading journey started. And so I started trading stocks and had some beginner's luck. Had some swings, some day trading stuff. And as you can see, it wasn't so bad. I was trading on trading 2-on-2 at the time, and I wasn't even on their CFD feature. I was on the investing because I didn't want to pay the commissions, and I was using my own money, not even leveraged, okay? And I was literally putting all the money in, no leverage, and making the actual profits from the percentages, okay? In this case, I was up 3.4K, and that's 150%. I was up 2.1K, sorry, and that was 1.3K that was actually mine. All right? Same with all of these. And you can see this is some decent money. We're talking about daily gains. A guy that's 20 years old making 60 euros out of nothing in 50 minutes. Okay, that's good. That's good. You got to keep in mind that I'm just a fucking teenager. Then I'm just in school most of these times. And a little day like this, that's awesome, bro. Without even doing no fucking 9 to 5 work, that's awesome. We're talking for brokey wise. Okay, I'm talking to someone that was on my level. Okay, I'm saying this is good because I've been in your situation. All right, I'm not talking about here doing millions at 16. We're talking a bit more realistically here. If you're in school and you manage to do 100 euros or 80 or 60 in a day, that's fucking good because you're not getting paid at school. And even if you have a 9 to 5 job, you're probably doing it the same way in 1 hour or 15 minutes. You're gonna say that's not good. I'm not putting high expectations here. We're not talking about the big dogs in the industry. We're not talking about some 16-year-old you see on TikTok. Okay, we're talking about real life here. You tell me this is pretty good. Okay? And it's only me in the beginning without a strategy. But do you think I could maintain this? All right? Obviously, it's not rainbows and sunshine forever. You get the beginner's luck, and then suddenly market takes it all back, right? And it was not pretty, guys. It was not pretty. I blew my trading account. I fucking blew it. Look at this. Look at this shit. Fucking minus 4.4K. I told you about the 10K net worth. Literally half of my net worth gone. Lost everything. Minus 98%. Minus 98% here as well. 2 fucking investments. This is fucking wish at the time. Not to cry. It was my dumb ass that stick to it. Alright, I was following signals on Twitter. I was following that guy, this guy that would dump on me as soon as I bought. And that's my fault. I had to learn from it. It was not success overnight. Right? I fucking went to the shit. But if you can't manage to go to the shit, right? If you can't manage to go through these and fucking continue, then God or the universe will never give you the best stuff the world has to give you. Okay? If you can't manage to go through this, you don't deserve the good stuff. Right? Whether the lifestyle, the financial freedom, all of that. If you can't manage to go through these times, right? You have to be resilient and not fucking quick. I could quit at this point. Very easy. Not only blew my trading account, I lost my e-com stores. Fucking banned because I was doing because I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to do. Okay? You gotta get rich, then you become legal, okay? Nah, but it was just some copyright stuff. They was kind of abusing it, and I didn't give a fuck. I needed to make money, okay? So then I was shut down and permanently banned on Etsy. I even fucking lost the girl I had at the time. So, boys, it's not rainbows and sunshine, okay? And this is not the worst position in the world, but just to say, like, I'm no different from you. Maybe you're even in a better position than me. Maybe you're even worse. But I promise you find someone that's in the same position that you are, or was in a position even worse than you are currently, and they make it out and they manage to succeed at the end. So all you got to do is believe, okay? Because then after going through all this, I had to start taking shit seriously. Okay, no more trading like I don't know shit. Okay, I stopped trading stocks and knew that live markets was the way into forex, and I invested thousands of dollars into forex day trading courses. So then I wouldn't be swinging and doing stuff I didn't know what to do, because I was literally not even on TradingView, guys. I was doing my analysis on this fucking shit, on this fucking graphs, on lines, on this bullshit. And then I went kind of a TradingView, but no strategy. I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know if this was like one hour trades, some of the day trading stuff. Okay, so I had to get serious. I had to get serious and tell myself, I don't know shit. Okay? Start to get serious. Invest in thousands of dollars. I need to take shit seriously. Started the gym, got in shape, graduated and got a job. Was the fucking best student in fucking accountancy. And motherfuckers would used to study for 8 hours for a test. I studied one and got an 18 out of 20, and they would get like a 12 or 10 because I'm the fucking G. Okay? And I work smarter, not harder. I won't explain you my methods, but hey, I've been a G, bro. I had to take shit seriously though. You can see I have not been a G, right? I'm just playing. I'm not being a G. You can see this, okay? And as soon as I started to take shit seriously, what do you think happened? What do you think happened? Well, things got even worse. Yeah, even worse. Who could imagine? Went to take so much risk that I had my fucking bank account balance negative, bro. I had two accounts, even like one at negative and one Revolut type at fucking €3, bro. 3 fucking euros and minus 41 euros. You can literally see the name, okay? And over 2K dollars on blown challenges by taking so much risk, okay? By rushing the process. You don't want to be this guy, okay? You guys got an advantage, really. Okay, maybe you already went to this. Maybe you are in this exact situation. But if you're listening to this, I hope I can give you as much value in this video as possible for you not to go into these situations, okay? Because I've been telling you, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. You would have think that things became suddenly to be better, right? They fucking didn't. They fucking didn't. So let's get into it. Okay? I know you guys have been waiting a long time listening to my story. You probably skipped a little bit. You're trading, your TikTok brain maybe couldn't handle it, or maybe you just don't care about me, right? Maybe you don't care. Maybe you already know. Maybe I don't need to prove myself that I'm profitable or where I came from, right? But let's get into it. And so I traded stocks and didn't work. I traded SMC and didn't work. So what is the actual strategy I trade today and saw results from? The strategy is liquidity. Okay? Super logical strategy. Okay, the trading markets are like commerce. You need people to buy in order for you to sell, and you need people selling in order for you to buy something, right? Makes sense. The banks and institutions will constantly look for liquidity to get taken in order to position themselves into the market, okay? Because they have not a couple dollars or a couple hundreds or a couple thousands. If you have like a certain amount of millions, okay? That's little money into the markets, all right? These guys have dozens of millions and billions being injected into the market, and because it's logical commerce, like I was saying, okay, it's a zero-sum game. There needs to be buyers in order for you to sell, and there needs to be sellers in order for you to buy. They need that counterpart, Okay, so sometimes they'll build their account about themselves, but most of the times they'll manipulate the price in order to get people out of trades, in order to get their lots in forex terminology. If we're talking about stocks, then it would be to get their shares, in a sense, right? And that's pretty logic. And because they can't just place themselves like us, we can place ourselves with a click of a button. They can't. They need to make people get out of trades in order for them to inject their crazy sums, right? Like we've discussed. And getting you out of trade, that doesn't necessarily mean getting you stopped out at stop loss. It can be break evens, it can be TPs, whatever. But most of the times it ends up being stop loss. It's not that there are these bad guys that want you to not make money and be broke. It's just that they need their lots. And that's by taking you out of the market, liquidating you. Okay, so because of this, because I adopted this strategy, I understood what price is doing and why, right? Why price is going towards those levels. Because there's a bunch of stop losses there, because there's this certain liquidity. I'm able to avoid many losses by not falling for the traps. And I know that you might be thinking, well, I already trade liquidity. I trade ICT, this, blah, blah, blah. The liquidity I'm talking about is not SMC, it's not ICT. I trade smart money traps. So if you trade SMC and you're saying, you're having the idea that I trade the same way as me, you don't. You don't, because I trade a concept that's smart money traps. So I'm looking for you to get stopped out in the trade for then me actually place myself on the market. I only place myself once everybody's gone off the trade. Okay? And as soon as you start adopting these, okay, and you learn what they are, if you watch the rest of this video, okay, you'll become instantly profitable. Regardless of the other stuff that the strategy contains, regardless of the other confluences, if you only focus on learning what smart money traps are, you'll become instantly profitable. If you just know how to spot them and not fall for them. Because I'm going to show you. Look at some of the feedback I've got. Trading liquidity changed my whole perception on trading in a very short period of time, opening the eyes of the people. By far the best strategy in the industry I've come across in my 6 year plus in trading. Very logical and straightforward, demanding and cultivating patience in the trader, but also building discipline due to the timings to be respected. Okay, we want to restrict ourselves because in trading you can do whatever, right? The problem with trading is that the bar of entry is low and you can do whatever. So you don't want to be able to do whatever. You want to restrict yourself, right? You can buy, sell at night, do this, do that. The problem is we want to restrict ourselves. And that's with a strategy. And if you don't understand that, that means you're just a dopamine crackhead and you're destined to be unprofitable forever. I mean this in a respectful way, right? I'm glad to be in your private group, bro. Thank you very much. This is a student of mine. Hi, guys. I want to give my thanks to Dylan after 1 week of watching his YouTube, Discord, post setups, and videos talking about SMT and not the SMT that's like ICT or whatever. We're talking about smart money traps here and liquidity. Finally, I had a call with him and it was spoken so informative about his SMT strategy. The information he shared has helped me to understand about the market and how the market operates longer. Thank you, man. And but yeah, and all of these people are different people, guys. These are not my fucking friends or whatever. These are literally people that I never seen in my life, showing me respect. And that's the crazy part, which I love. It's helping people, right? It's doing this YouTube stuff and actually manage to make a change in people's lives. Because with trading, you can literally change somebody's life, right? Oh, then I was just randomly backtesting your way and the result great till now. Most probably still learn. Yeah. 5 months out the green. I know it's just backtesting, but building up the skill and mentality. But that's perfect, right? 53% win rate, 30. But the win rate isn't important. Okay? You don't want to be focusing on only on win rate. I'm just saying you win rate because that's the only thing we can see here. But you can see the FX replay equity chart. They're mostly going up, right? You always want to focus on win rate and risk reward. I'm not going to teach you about that in this video because that's pretty basic. But if a lot of you guys are focusing on, oh, if you don't have a win rate that's better than 50%, then you're shit, then you don't know nothing about trading. You need to quit this video honestly and just go learn the basics, right? Because trading profitability is determined by win rate and risk reward, right? I'm not going to go too deep into that. If you don't know that, you need to go watch other stuff. Okay. Types of liquidity, right? So I was telling how SMC traders don't trade the same liquidity, right? I do implement equal highs, equal lows, and trend lines. Those are liquidity, but that's simply not enough. Okay. Previous daily highs, previous daily low, previous weekly highs, previous weekly lows, highs and lows of the month. All right, there's a mistake here. Sessions highs and liquidities, high time frames, highs and lows, and inducements. Inducements are basically what I call a secondary fake high, fake low. That's closer to the highest point or lowest point that took liquidity, but it has done nothing. It has done nothing significant. It didn't came to mitigate that point, or it didn't came to take no liquidity. It's just an inducement standing there. And for the advanced part, smart money traps, because sometimes some SMC traders can see these liquidities as well. The point is that they can't see the smart money traps. And that's as soon as we take those, you're going to see how price manipulates so much in recent times that they can't even get themselves profitable because of these smart money traps, right? So I'll take all of these into consideration, but the most important being SMT, the smart money traps. As soon as we see some liquidity, always wait for SMT. That's what I'm talking about when people can see these liquidities, but they can't see that as soon as we sweep them, price will sweep it again, right? Because like the name indicates, the smart money traps are traps for SMC traders, right? Because how do SMC traders trade? Most likely is that they see a sweep of liquidity of equal highs, equal lows. Maybe if you're a more experienced trader, you will see some previous daily highs, previous daily lows, some Asia session liquidity, right? But then they will see the sweep of liquidity. They'll see the breaker structure. Okay, they change the character, go in the other direction. They'll buy it, and then they'll get stopped out, right? Because on the liquidity itself, imagining that this liquidity is equal low, in this move that came violently sweep it, we got the support resistance traders out of this trade. And as soon as we did the breaker structure, smart money traders would have their order blocks around here, and they would get stopped out too. So in here, we took out the support resistance traders. As soon as we did this move, we took out the SMC traders. And as soon as everybody's out of the trades, that's where I place myself, right? Because most of the times when you see yourself being stopped out, you see price going your way. You know why that is? It's because you've fallen into a smart money trap, right? That's what I'm talking about here. And as soon as a major liquidity gets swept, just wait. Just wait. As soon as we do the breaker structure, just wait. I know that price is going the other direction and you're already feeling the FOMO of placing yourself, but just wait. I can promise you that it's way more likely for price to sweep it again. Okay? Sometimes it might work. Sometimes the SMC strategy might work and I might miss a setup. But it's way better, it's way safer for me to just wait for that second sweep, meaning a trap being executed, in order for me to have a higher probability of the trade playing out, but also to not fall into traps, because then I would have a 20% win rate because of falling for this SMC strategy type of trades, right? Because everyone in the mama trades SMC now, right? Everyone trades SMC, ICT. That's why there's so many smart money traps now in the market. And are they profitable? Right. So major liquidity sweep, it's a high time frame trap or even M15, right? We want to see some structure getting swept. And then once we sweep it, we want to see another sweep in the lower time frames in M5 or smaller time frame, right? I'm gonna show you. So in this example, we're doing a smart money trap around here, okay, because price is going down and suddenly it goes higher because price doesn't move constantly down, right? We sweep liquidity, but because we sweep it, right, and we're in a different session, then I'm gonna show you guys later on the video, we need to wait for a trap, okay? So here was the largest scale trap on M15, and then once we zoom in, we can see that we sweep that high of London, which is a liquidity, and which is the high that was made here. We sweep it once, we go down, we make a breakout structure here to make people place themselves around here, and they get stopped out, right? And then price actually goes their way, meaning that here there was a trap on the larger scale, and then here was a trap on the lower scale, right? You always gotta anticipate that. And also, look how I made with London session, New York session. That's because you have to take sessions liquidity into consideration. I've talked about them here, right? Types of liquidity, sessions highs and lows. Keep in mind of that. Keep in mind of that. Go into the live markets right now and get a session indicator and mark out the highs and lows of the sessions. I'll promise you that you'll see New York sweeping London, London sweeping Asia, and you'll see as soon as we do some type of sweep like that, price reverses from that level, right? And goes to target the other one. Here we sweep London highs to then sweep London lows. That's a fuel. And London will do the same for Asia. And so sometimes price may not do an extra trap like I was saying, but even then it's safer, and this will give me an overall better win rate, right? The point is for me to not fall for these traps and not lose a bunch of money in the market. My priority is to prioritize capital, okay, and then actually scale it. So for this strategy or any other strategy, you have to keep it simple, right? 3 to 5 confluences. Don't overcomplicate stuff and really have something that will never come in the market, right? You don't want to have a strategy where the stars have to be aligned for your setup to actually come in, right? We're going to talk about psychology afterwards and how that impacts like your performance, but you want to keep it simple, right? So then your decision is binary and you can actually see your plan in 3 to 5 confluences, all right? The checklist, as soon as you see them, you take the trade, right? Because in my one, and I'm basically giving you my strategy here. Sweep of major liquidity. That could be a previous daily high, previous daily low, or high time frame high or low. Whatever. And a bunch of other stuff that I talked about before. It can be one of those levels. That's major liquidity, right? That's not an M1 liquidity random on the spot. A smart money trap following that major sweep of liquidity. So a double sweep of that major liquidity, let's say. We sweep it once, we come down, and we sweep it again if we're looking for sells. And then some kind of reason for the bias, right? We target that liquidity, right? But is there liquidity on the other side that we want to target? Because price goes from one liquidity to another, right? So if we take one liquidity, is there other liquidity to go look for at the lower side? Price will go to the point where the most amount of liquidity lies, right? If there's no liquidity to look out for, then there's no point for price to continue for price to reverse. And you can add bonus, you can add whatever you want and whatever is your strategy. It doesn't have to be mine, but just keep it simple, 3 to 5. And you can even add the DXY correlation as a bonus. If you trade EU or GU, you would look at DXY to have a perfect anti-correlation, right? Whatever DXY does, you look to do the opposite in EU and GU, right? Analyzing the DXY chart, looking for downwards liquidity in order for EU and GU to take out upside liquidity because they're perfectly anti-correlated. Because on USD, it's the euro against the dollar. So the dollar comes in second, so you have to invert the chart. If you're trading something like USD GPY, then you do the DXY correlation as perfect correlated. Make sense? If not, go check some videos that I've done on DXY or some other person. But this is a huge correlation that you can do. It's a huge confluence that you can add to your strategy in order to avoid traps and really see where market's going. It's going to give you a ton of confidence, especially in news. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you an example of a trade from A to Z. Okay, on what actually the trade looks like, what my vision is, and how do I actually execute and wait for the traps to be swept. When we see the chart, okay, we're bearish for the moment, okay, until we see this liquidity getting taken, okay. As you can see, this is a perfect equal low, okay, so we're gonna be looking to short until we sweep this, all right. I can also see that we have a previous daily high here, okay. You got to take those into consideration, not just because price went like this and now you're going to short it here, okay. Don't just be a normal SMC trader. And I can also see these efficiencies right here. You can kind of almost count this as one, but yeah, I'm just gonna count this one because they both at the same spot. And so I'm gonna start the day off. It is a 2nd of the month on a Friday. So what does that tell you? That tells you NFP. So we will try not to trade before NFP. You got London going higher. You might short it here because we just swept Asia right here. We are coming to this order block, let's say, or the whole zone that you might consider. But if you don't zoom out, or if you don't see the depth that price has come to that order block, like you know that this is a equal high, right? And as soon as we give off some reaction, right, that's just to trap people. But in here, if you're smarter than the dumb SMC traders, okay, I wouldn't consider this a trap for SMC traders, but I would consider a trap for support resistance traders, because right now we're building on support resistance around that level. Okay, so we're coming to the end of London in the session which I like to call New York trap timing, but it was London that ended up sweeping this. Okay, so right now we got the previous daily high swept. That's a nice liquidity, and people would place themselves around here, and support resistance traders would place themselves around here. But because it's a whole another day, you need to wait for another trap. Okay, and London is coming to an end. To what I was telling you about the New York trap timing session. Okay, it's a session when I don't trade, when I don't take any positions, because it will most likely take out the highs and or lows of London, and it will also be the hour between London and New York session. And then as soon as New York comes, it would also like to sweep the highs and lows of London session. Meaning, if I position myself in a trade towards the end of London, I'm risking the fact that the other sessions like to liquidate the price action of previous sessions. Okay, most of the people would only adopt this concept in the Asia session, where you have the Asia session liquidity. Most of y'all should know that. When you see Asia's high getting sweep, you look for a short position. When you see Asia low getting swept, you look for a buy position. But the thing is, there's session liquidity in every session, okay? London likes to sweep Asia, New York likes to sweep London, and it can also sweep Asia if London doesn't do it, okay? So in here, you risk, maybe here it would work, but as I've told you, New York's about to come, and you have the high of London and the low of London. Okay, so in here, your short position might have worked. Okay, but not everyone places themselves like this on a super small time frame. Most of the people would wait for this sweep of liquidity that we just waited for and a breaker structure to the downside. Okay, either way, they maybe got stopped out break even here. So right now they got their breaker structure. Maybe they're waiting themselves to place around here, or they're already in. But regardless of that, market will look to take people out. But when it's looking to take people out, okay, it's not just stop hunts. It's basically anything, okay? It's a matter of taking people out of trades. It can be stop loss, which in most cases it is, but it can also be TPs, it can also be break evens, whatever. It's just to get their lots. All right? So in here, we're basically going from one liquidity to another, to now where? Test out this and go to the downside? No. Okay? Because after sweeping this, we still haven't made a smart money trap. So what did I tell you before? In here, in the previous daily high level, after this, we're taking out the support resistance traders and the slightly dumb SMC traders. Okay? So then, after taking out the SMC traders, we got to take out the support resistance traders. Okay? They're basically seeing a sweep of liquidity, a breaker structure, okay? And they're going to position themselves on a retest. Okay? Don't tell me you don't see this. All right? That's why I'm doing on the replay mode. So you can go along with me, okay, analyzing the chart and giving your opinion in your head. So because if I were to give you the chart already set up, you might have said, oh, I will never position myself there. But then the reality is you would. Okay? So in here, we take out the support resistance traders. And now, after giving out this reaction, do I place myself here? Okay, be honest with yourself. Right now, I talked about session liquidity. We swept the London low, we swept the London high. We go from one liquidity to another, okay? From one liquidity to another, then possibly to another, okay? Because this was a trap. Normally, this will be a trap, right? I'm going to tell you you're correct. You're correct. You're correct in that sense. But this trade, it isn't a good trade yet. That is because if we do the smart money trap on one session, then it's fine. But right now, it's the New York session taking out the high of London session. Okay, so it's two different sessions for the setup. So if this structure was all made in a single session, then I would look to take this trade right here. I would look to take it in this structure right here after seeing this candle reaction. But because it is another session that's taking out the trap, that's sweeping another session, okay, that's giving out the overall trap on the larger scale, okay, you have to wait for another trap. And that is because there's people that will not trade both sessions. There's people that will jump in New York. They will see this, okay, even SMC traders, they can classify this as liquidity. They will see this, and then they will not get trapped. They will not get trapped because they wasn't trading London session. Or maybe they would trade this, but, well, they wouldn't get trapped. So, in essence, if we're doing this on the same session, you can trade it right ahead after seeing the sweep. But if we're doing this on two different sessions, meaning right now it's New York and this structure right here was from London, Then you gotta wait for a second sweep. That second sweep, in other sense, a trap. And right now, you see that we make efficiency with the key level that we had made before, right? It's keeping different things in mind, okay? It's a matter of adding concepts all together, not just having break a block and another block and shorting or buying depending on where the position is, okay? That is a strategy, but that is not a strategy, okay? That's not enough, okay? I don't think you will be profitable just by doing that, because if you read liquidity quite well, then you're always getting trapped, like we're marking it out right here, okay? So right now, I'm gonna give you another secret, okay? Because this video is full of gems. Don't hesitate in watching this back and backtesting this day for yourself. In here, we have London session being bullish, New York session being bullish. So right now we're coming to London close, which is usually a retracement of the day, okay? It's a session just after local morning of New York. It's still New York session technically, because it's going to be the afternoon of New York, but it is towards the end of local London, whereas the London close, which most of the times it is a retracement of the day. Think of this. Use this as a confluence again, okay? You need multiple things to your strategy. So if London and New York are both in the same direction, London close will usually, okay, it's a matter of probabilities, okay? It's not 100% certain. Trading is all about putting the probabilities on your side, so you have the more chances of winning, all right? Because market will do what it needs to do, okay? And London close will usually be a retracement of the day, usually, okay? Not 100% of the times, but it is a good confluence to know. And in recent timings, it has become my most profitable session because, well, not because of this, but because of the nice retracements the other day it gives. But you also gotta have the other stuff in line, like I was saying. The liquidity is getting taken, the traps, okay? So, and another thing is that London session, if New York moves a lot far from a London session price action of London session, London close will look to moving away to make efficiency with price action. Meaning, London will can move a certain way. New York might move the opposite. In this case, they were both the same, and London close will move towards London price action. You might have an example where London moves a certain way and New York moves the other. And let's say London bullish, New York bearish. London close will most likely be bullish to search efficiency with London price action. If London was bearish and New York was bullish, then London close will most likely be bearish to look for London's price action. Meaning, this whole thing is London's price action, and price action is currently here on London session, and we'll look to come to it, okay? But I'm already talking about London session, London close session, and it's only 3:40 p.m. on UTC plus 2. Normally, London close starts at 5 p.m. UTC plus 2. So let's go down to the 1 minute and see what's happening here. Okay, so we're getting more structure getting taken, all right? Okay, more structure getting taken. Right now, 4 p.m., we already did the trap right here, okay? We already did a trap right here as well. So right now, if you want to position yourself after this, you can easily do it. Because in here, we give out another trap on the lower time frames. Can you see this? Okay? Price going up, breaking this structure, to then break it higher again, to now break it lower again. So in essence, this was a fake breaker structure. Mark it as purple. This was another sweep. And right now, this is the correct breaker structure. Okay? I don't even remember if the trade was this, but I'm gonna just take it as it is. And you can just take it to the trap or even to these levels right here. You don't have to be greedy like that, but you can really do it once you trade liquidity. So because this was a trap, this will for sure be a trap, and you can easily target it. Okay, you can target this whole block, and that will give you about 4 hours. Okay, let's put it like this. And you could position yourself on a stop order after you see this breaker structure right here. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna let the trade play out like this. We're on the 3-minute. Okay, you can see we have a slight reaction from their order block in order to trap more people to place themselves there. We're making equal lows with it. Okay, and then we get it taken. And then you can take advantage of an easy 4-hour trade. At this right here, 5 p.m., it's where the London close started. Let me mark it out for you. Right here, 5 p.m. And what can you see at 5 p.m.? A nice and easy retracement, end of the day, in order to just make the counterpart of London and New York direction. Okay? Yes, this whole thing was New York, but it's better to just consider this as London close. Okay? Remember, because the volatility might die out, but I mean, it's just a nice and easy movement. Okay? It's you won't get the craziness that New York sometimes give you and take you out of trades instantly. It will be nice and easy, and sometimes even a fast TP, sometimes. But in this case, we got it right here. And like I said, if you want to target the equal lows, which is why we have this high time frame sentiment bias, okay, you can easily do that. But right now, we already made this trap. We already went to this liquidity. So right now, I will not be surprised if there's some reaction out of this level. Okay? Let's see. But either way, we already out of this. We already out on the trap. That's just to tell you, okay, we could have gotten tagged out break even. Depends if you put yourself break even or not. Okay? But that's just to tell you the fact of like, you can be correct. You don't need to be fully correct. Okay, you just have to be correct enough, right? Because if I were to place myself here, my TP here, I would be looking for a 6R, and truth is I would be out break even. Even though price will most likely reach there, price also came to my break even level and tagged me out break even, and then went my way again. Okay, and it could have been stop loss as well. So it's not a matter of management, it's a matter of being just enough right. You don't have to be fully correct. I could even be wrong. And price just go massively up. But I focus myself on a smart money trap cycle, because this was a trap, this would have become a trap. There were some reaction out of this, and instead of looking for the whole move, I just looked for a part of it. Okay? And I got myself a TP. Even though I know that this level could easily be tagged out. But what's to say price doesn't come higher to trap everyone that's placing themselves around here again and then goes there. That could happen. And you would also be in a trade for like 2 or 3 days. So wouldn't it just be better to get off of it on the same day? And then, as you can see, we would have been stopped out. And then price would maybe go there. Let's see. I don't even know if I have enough data on this, but yeah, price would go there. Okay, so you could have been right, but still wrong, because of you being greedy, in a sense. All right, so keep that in mind when you position yourself. And right now, for all the guys that saying, "Yo, this is very nice because you're doing this on replay," let me show you something. This is my premium group. This is where I send my analysis every single day. And as you can see, this is the 2nd of May. All right, the 2nd of May. Where am I looking at? Previous daily high, going up, and then going down. This is the major liquidity in red. Okay, if I show y'all, this is Asia session. On the screenshot, we're right here. Okay, everything understood? All right, so let's continue. All right, sweep of this, like I mentioned, previous daily high. All right, and then a move lower, but then price decided to sweep it but not give it a trap instantly. It was because of it was London session, it was a bit slow, and normally I don't get many setups in London session. It's mostly New York or London close, like I was mentioning. And then as I told y'all, NFP prediction, it was going to do this. Then what do you know, it went down, and then boom, NFP, it went up and tagged out everyone that was placing themselves around here. Okay, I don't think I need to show y'all again, but this is this, right? The trap right here. And I'm saying looking for sells. And as you can see, 230, 231. Okay, this is live markets. This is right after the news. Okay, 230. There was an hour change. So instead of 230, it was 330 already, because just the hour change that. So then, looking for something like this, I'm already saying it. Okay, everyone seeing this trap. Okay, if they were smart like me to see the trap, they will see this candle reaction and they will place themselves right after it. Me, I'm seeing it, and you can notice I put my arrow slightly above, okay, as a second sweep in order to come tag it, and I put my arrow down right at this level of New York, which would mean the trap. So then, yeah, I'm flexing in here, but you can see how that's exactly what happened. People that place themselves on the candle, on that beautiful rejection, got trapped. And then I'm telling people that this breaker structure is too high. Let's refine it. Okay. I'm looking. Let's do this. If price decides to go short, and I'm telling my people my entry, modifying the order, and then boom, sell EU right here. Give me my trap. Give me my trade ahead of time. All right, the analysis, the where I'm gonna be positioning myself, and is actually exactly where I'm at. Okay, because this is also, I need to be quick because these are 3-minute candles, guys. Okay, but I'm already telling people, put your stop order here or market execution here. Okay, and the stop loss will be whatever it's the highest point. And as you can see, that 3-minute candle did this huge rejection. So it was super quick, and it was less than 5 minutes. But I'm telling people ahead of time. All right, and then put your stop loss to break even. Boom, 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 and we got it. We got it. The price went there. We even were more refined. No, we were kind of the same. I just go for 3R. I didn't go for 4. I didn't go for the full trap. I just go for a fixed RR of 3. Okay, but we got it, and it was not just me. We also got students that took the exact same trade. This was a couple time ago. So let's see. Here we go. Sniper trade. That's the EU I'm telling you about. Okay, you can see how it's the same structure. The trap right here, the trap right here. Okay, this guy My guy Ferdouz literally joined us 1 day before this trade. You also got to win. This guy also got to win. Okay, you can see it's the same chart. It's the same chart. Liquidity taken below to then above to then back below to the trap. Okay, and got himself a nice little profit. All right, this is what I give to my students, to my mentorship students. It's not just seniors because I have my mentorship students there, and it's to teach them my vision. Right, every single person that spends 1 month, 2 months, 3 months in this group starts to understand the vision, and eventually they caught up to the trades even before I send them. Okay, it's a matter of understanding, not just taking signals, and definitely not one signal, one of those signals that's like negative RR with the guy already saying TP1 hit before you can even place yourself. All right, it's nothing like that. The priority is for you to learn, and we also do group calls. But the important thing is for you to learn and for you to adopt my vision as soon as possible. Not for you to just take signals, okay? If you want the easy route, you can go to my BFX, you can go to Alex G, you can turn $1 into $1 million, okay? If you still dream about it, good luck. Good luck in making that happen. But if you're actually serious, then welcome to the channel. You can subscribe, you can go watch the rest of the content, and I promise you that there's no way you won't see results. If you're new to liquidity, you're probably still a bit lost on how I was able to predict that trade, but this is really how market moves, right? It goes from one liquidity to another, guys. Always trapping everybody, right? Because as soon as price goes down, they'll try to short it here and they'll get stopped out. And then because price broke this and went up, they'll try to buy it here and get stopped out again. Then because that, they'll try to short it here, get stopped out again. Then buy, get stopped out again. And they'll never predict a bias, right? Because instead of liquidity sweeps, they're seeing breaks of structures, right? And it's not that. You'd have to know the difference between a breaker structure and a liquidity sweep. But I'm telling you that the market will not move like this basic stuff that people try to pretend it does, right? And then the SMC traders will get stopped out every single direction. And that's why I have the smart money trap cycle, because this is basically what it is. Because this will a trap, this will become a trap, and because this will a trap, this will become a trap, and vice versa. It's because that the SMC traders initially they have the good bias. They understand where market is going. The problem is they place themselves too early and get stopped out, and then the market actually goes that direction. But for some reason, they instantly change their mind. Oh, I got stopped out on the shorts. That means price is bullish. Oh, price is not actually bearish, price is bullish. So here, let me clean this up and show you again. So they'll try to short it here, right? Boom, they'll get stopped out. Oh, because the shorts didn't fail, we're not actually bearish, we're actually bullish. So let price come back to this level and let me buy from here. And then they get stopped out again. And the same thing, not actually bullish, we're actually bearish. So let me short it again once we get here, and then stopped out again. And then they get stopped out dozens of times for eventually to get a win. But this win that they got from this move will not cover for all the losses, as we know, right? And so you have to understand the market moves from one liquidity to another, making several traps, right? A good analogy that I could give you is that the price action is the car and the liquidity is the fuel. One will not move or work without the other, right? So you need to see liquidity getting taken in the markets in order for price to move. Because what were we talking about earlier? These big institutions injecting their capital, right? That could only happen once people get out of trades. So we want to see liquidity getting swept, right? This is why I don't trade trends, I trade ranges, right? The market is a fucking range most of the times. If we're talking about forex, USD, it's not a trending pair. It's a ranging one. So Do this exercise for yourself. Go into the live market charts and mark out the liquidities. Mark out the liquidities you've seen me marked out. Okay? Even a higher, even every single high, above every single high and below every single low, there's liquidity. At least high time frame ones. And smaller time frames as well, but they're more irrelevant. Okay, we want to focus on major liquidities and sometimes medium inducements, right? Medium liquidities. You don't need to go that deep into the smaller ones in order to become profitable. And I promise you, mark this out and you surprise yourself from where price reacts and reverses from. It's from the same lines that you drew from the price, right? Because you drew the liquidities and you saw price taking it and went the other direction. We're not only giving you the theory, right? We're also putting it to perspective into the real market. Okay, because you go to my YouTube, it's not all draws. Okay, it's always on the live charts. Because most of the guys would tell you in lines and explain you this in lines. It's very easy, right? Seems very beautiful and simple. But once you come to the live market, you don't understand shit. Like, what do you do here? I'm going to tell you what do you do here. You see liquidity getting taken? These lines, right? You place yourself. These are kind of, these are already medium and small ones. But you can see how I was telling you about the highs and lows of the sessions, right? New York is taking the highs and lows of London and going to the other direction. He sweeps the lows to then go sweep the highs. And then sweeps the highs to go sweep the lows, right? Maybe you wasn't feeling it, the draw so much, but in here, it's exactly what I was telling you about. The price is going up. Boom, this becomes a trap. Okay, the buys, the price isn't bullish, the price is bearish, let me short it here. Boom, they get trapped out again. Oh, the price is bullish, let me buy it then again here. Boom, stopped out. And then this order block magically works. But I promise you, later on, it became the previous daily high and the Asia session high. So, major liquidity for the next day. And I can promise you price took it, right? No doubt. And then you can see how price moves here. It's not like this, right? You can say it is. But if you zoom in, you'll see some liquidity getting taken. And if you're in the live markets, then you don't actually know where this low is, right? You might assume price moves like this and you think the low, we're currently here, but maybe you're here and you're getting stopped out. And the way you can know the low is by seeing where price grabs liquidity, right? Because here, price is taking liquidity, right? It's going up to then go down, sweep liquidity, and then actually continues to move up. And doing what? The smart money trap cycle, right? Because then people would buy it here because they see price going like this, maybe. So then they get trapped on the shorts to then get trapped on the long, to then get trapped on the shorts, right? And this has become a valid low for a while, right? Because this is actually how price moves from liquidity. If we're trending, then I want to see liquidity get taken, at least. Not this. Price does not move like this. Maybe, like I said, it can, but we're sweeping liquidities in the middle, right? And in live markets, you cannot know where those liquidities are. What is actually this low or this low? But with liquidity, okay, you can. And you don't get trapped on these internal structures, placing your orders around here, right? Get trapped on the buys to then get trapped on the shorts because you think price went lower, that now is suddenly bearish. No, we didn't switch bias. We just swept liquidity. You have to know a difference between a breaker structure to a liquidity sweep, right? And how price actually moves. So now, in this example, you can play out the internal more risky trades. Kind of like I was saying here. The major liquidity is what I would call an external setup. The bigger the liquidity, the higher probability of the setup, right? So for you guys that are beginners into liquidity, I want you to to focus more on the external setups. The external setups, like I was mentioning, is when you see a big liquidity, a major liquidity getting swept. But remember, this is all a matter of probabilities. You can see on the chart, I have these two trades placed here. I took these trades on live markets, right? You can see how we sweep this equal low to then go higher. Okay, this is a fake breaker structure, right? And then we sweep it again. That's how I place myself, right? Because here, support resistance traders are out. And boom, second sweep, the SMC traders are out, right? Go back if you didn't understand that, or go watch more of my videos, right? And then I got a 4R on the internal setup, because this setup was risky because it was kind of internal, all right, in the middle of liquidities. And the purpose of this setup was to go look for the major liquidity, right? We have a purpose in our targets as well. It's not only seeing liquidity getting swept lower, it's also seeing some reasoning for price to go our direction, and it was the major liquidity. So this was a risky trade to go look for the major liquidity, and as soon as we swept the major liquidity, this was a safe trade. But you can see it's all a matter of probabilities, because even though the risky trade played out, the safe trade was only a break even. So you have to accept that. It doesn't mean because the risky trade was a win that the safe trade should be a win as well, or a safe trade shouldn't be a loss, or a risky trade should be a loss, but then a safe trade a win. It's all a matter of probabilities, right? And now we go deeper into psychology, because if you don't know your edge statistics for at least hundreds of trades, right? At least 100. Okay, but you really want to have lots of trades in order to for the edge to make sense. In order for you to have some data, some actually true data in regards to your strategy. Not like 10 trades, oh, I'm profitable in 10 trades, I'm profitable, right? That doesn't mean shit. Same if you're unprofitable, that doesn't mean shit. You haven't traded for long enough, right? If you don't have the data, then you don't even know if you're profitable or not. And let me tell you, most of these guys don't know. They're going they're going into live markets, they're going to prop firms, they throwing their money in the trash, but they don't know if they're even profitable. And so this data might come from live market data, from your journal, or it can even be backtesting, because you have the chance of taking way more trades, like I was saying, and so gather way more data, right? We're worrying about technicals here, because most guys say, oh, my problem is psychology is bad, that's why I'm not profitable yet. Bro, psychology isn't your problem. You don't know how to trade. That's why you're unprofitable. You don't know how to trade. So don't worry about psychology. Your problem is the technicals. And so if you want to get backtesting, you can use my code and link in the description to get 15% off on FX Flip on recurrent months. I'm not here to sell you, okay? They're the best in the game. If you don't know FX Flip, they're the best in backtesting. You can see I'm always using them for my backtesting videos. I've been using them 2 years before I got affiliated with them. It's just affiliation, really. They don't even know who I am, realistically. But yeah, really good software, same interface as TradingView, and you can get some data that they actually make, okay, that they do the work for you to tell you if you're profitable or not, which sessions should you be trading, and realistically what you should be doing in order to make your edge profitable, right? And like we were saying about psychology, most people will tell you that trading is 90% psychology and 10% technicals. Some of this is true, but you don't want to be telling beginners that, right? Because I'm totally opposed to this. Because if you don't know how to trade, then psychology is not important. This is only for people like me that already know how to trade. For me, it is 90% psychology and 10% technicals. But for you, watching this video on the screen, it's 90% technicals and actually 10% psychology. Right? Because you don't know how to trade. So you need to focus on the technicals first before you can even worry about the psychology. Think about David Goggins, for example. the guy has an amazing psychology, right? He's able to go through a lot of shit, right? So you'd say David Goggins has an amazing psychology. But if you put him in front of a chart, will he be a great trader? You're most likely saying no, because he doesn't know how to trade. So because that, the technicals are far more important than the psychology at the start. So you gotta understand that. And another thing that you gotta understand is that trading is a game of probabilities, boys. Probabilities. You already know this, right? But it needs to be in your head. It needs to be in your head, because I know I was watching these videos before and I was seeing people saying this stuff, but it didn't actually mean much for me, right? It didn't stick with me. But I hope you guys watching this and really stucks with you. Trading is a game of probabilities. It doesn't matter if your setup is the most beautiful setup you've ever seen. It doesn't mean it should be a win, right? Each trade has an individual result. Kind of like I was saying with the risky trade and the safe trade, right? I took the risky trade. Doesn't mean that the safe trade should have been a winner like the risky one was, right? Each trade has an individual result. So you can't be telling yourself, oh, I'm getting too many losses. This next trade needs to be a win. Nah, this next trade will be random. It's a completely random outcome. It's not because you had 3 losses in a row that the next one should be a win. Maybe you can have that thought, but only if you had made the backtest and gathered the data to know what your average max consecutive losses is, right? I know I can have about 5 or 6 in my edge. So if I'm like 5 losses deep, I know that everything's cool, everything's all right. I just got to keep doing what I know, because eventually a win might be around the corner, because I know that data. But most of y'all don't know that data, and you're 3 losses deep or 4 losses deep. Then you start to change stuff around. So then you start to doing another confluence. You start to take another trade. You start to take trades differently. You start to add another strategy, and now you're getting the losses of other probabilities, right? Because you're no longer doing your strategy, which has like 40% win rate, let's say. You're doing other stuff that's giving you different probabilities that may even have a 20% win rate in their case, but you're getting all the losses, right? And and this is a thing that actually must go through your head. Like, a lot of you are hoping for a win, but in a sense you're correct. Like, we wouldn't place ourselves in a trade that we don't think is going to be a winner, right? But if you know that your win rate is like 50%, whatever number it is, if you know that your win rate is this number, then why are you not accepting losses? Is it because you're on a losing streak? Or is it because you're not thinking in probabilities? Because if you have a 50% win rate, that means you win 50% of the times. That means you don't win all the times. So stop taking trades and assuming that they must be a winner, right? Because you got to think in the long term. Because each and every trade has its each individual outcome, right? And so I don't know if I'm going to be profitable over the next 10 trades. But if you give me the next 100, 200, then I know I'll be profitable. Because I don't know the outcome of the next few trades. But if you give me plenty of trades, right, plenty of chances, then I know that my probabilities will most likely play out. Because think of flipping a coin. It's 50% heads or tails, right? But if you flip it 10 times, it doesn't mean it's going to be 5 times heads and 5 times tails. It can be whatever. But the more you flip it, if we say 100, 200 times, then the more we'll actually get towards that 50% probability. Okay? So you want to be treating your trading like a casino, okay? So a lot of people say this, but what does this actually mean? This means that the casino has an edge on their side, right? They know they need to give out money. They know they'll lose from time to time. But the machines, the games, are made in a way for them to have their edge on their side. So the house always wins. The roulette, for example, is not 50-50. The green case or two green cases make the game favorable to the house, because then it's like 53% to the casino and 47% chances of the player to win, right? And only that little 3% or maybe even 1% in a certain game can bring all the difference, can make all the difference, right? Because we're talking now about millions of dollars in the game. But at the long term, at the long run, the house will always win. The house will always win. Because the edge, the probabilities are on their side. And you want to be doing the same with your trading. Because if you know that, then you'll follow the plan. Because you know that the plan will make you money. That's what we want at the end, right? We want to make money. You know the power of your edge. You know that there are probabilities on your side. You know that if you follow the plan, that the probabilities are on your side, right? You can't say I have a 50% win rate, come to the live markets, do something completely different from your strategy, and expect that same 50% win rate to play out. That will not happen. So a good analogy I could give you is that the plan is the general and you are the soldier. I've never been in an army, but to the guys that are watching this, that you might have been in an army, you know that you don't question the general or the commander or whoever is leading the soldiers, right? He tells you to do something, you don't say, you don't question him. You do it, even if you don't think it's the right decision. So you want to make the general the plan, and you are the soldier. Whatever the plan tells you to do, you do it, regardless if you don't think it's the right choice. This is because I want you to have a mechanical approach towards the markets rather than the discretionary one. So what I mean by this is you have a checklist of what your plan says, what type of trades you should be taking. And as soon as that checklist is all ticked off, I want you to take the trade. And there you're doing a mechanical approach. A discretionary approach would be seeing all the stuff being ticked off on the plan, but saying, you know what, the trade is conform to the plan, the setup is conform to the plan, but those candles don't look that good, and there's also this against the trade. I don't know if it can play out. I'll just stay out of it. And that was my problem. I was being too discretionary. I was having too much discretion, whereas I should be having a mechanical approach. Because you will surprise yourself from how many of these trades that you don't feel like it will play out that actually turn into a winner. Okay? And you want to be having a binary decision in these. It's either yes or no. There's no maybe this, maybe that. No, if there's a maybe, then there's no trade. It's either a yes or no. Is there a trade? Yes, I'm gonna take it. Is there a trade? No. This confluence isn't in it. Then I don't take it. And I'm not meaning that by being too discretionary, because like I said in the beginning, kinda, we talked about having 3 to 5 confluences, keeping it simple. So it's either a yes or no. Did we make those 3 confluences? Yes, you take the trade, regardless if this setup doesn't look good, right? Because you have to know that the stars will never align in most cases, right? So this avoids impatience, because it's a lot of problem people are facing, and also fearfulness, which is another problem that people are facing. And it's my type of trader, because I usually say there's 2 types of traders. There's the ones that are over patient, fearful, not taking trades, not being risk adverse, questioning the setups too much, and missing out on a lot of gains. And there's the impatient ones, where they're taking everything, not being patient, blowing accounts, making profit, but blowing more. Okay? Like I said, trade mechanically, trade like your plan says, and you will make money. because I want you to ask yourself, do you want money or you want dopamine? Because like we were talking about the two types of traders, some of you guys just want dopamine. You don't want to make money, right? You got to be honest with yourself. Do you want money or do you want dopamine? Because you say you don't want money, but you're taking everything you see, not knowing that by trying to take everything you see, you lose money, right? It sounds simple, but I have to tell people this, that you can actually lose money, right? It's not only winning, because trading is not like other domains where you can just work your ass off, do as much action as possible, and the only thing that you can get is results. Okay? Because you're trading, you're putting yourself in risk, right? You can either win or lose. So it doesn't matter if you take 100 trades and somebody takes 2 trades. Someone might be more profitable than the other, right? Most struggling break-even traders are already profitable, but they keep trading these risky bullshit setups that keep eating their P&L. And that's all that I want to go over. You know that you know how to trade, but you're taking these trades, maybe really easy, your psychology in this case, not the technicals. You're allowing these trades to come in, and these trades are making you unprofitable. Because like in this case, in this example right here, you can see you take a +3 win. Okay, great stuff. You followed your plan. You take a -1 hour win. Okay, you still followed your plan. That's great. And then you start adding these bullshit trades because, oh, okay, I lost one. I want to get back at 3. Boom, boom, boom. And you're at 0, which is still quite good, considering most of y'all are on the -10, -20 R, right? Most of you don't even know, because you're not even keeping with the performance. You're not even journaling. But you can see, if you stop taking these bullshit trades, then you would finish this at +2 R just by following the plan, right? And not adding what doesn't work and rushing the process. Because doing more doesn't mean earning more in trading. Less, as you can see, less is more, right? Because you can actually lose. So stop giving away your profits because you want to trade more. Because that's what really is. You don't want more money. You want to trade more. The best traders don't trade a bunch. They have between 8 to 12 setups a month, maybe. But you're out here not satisfied, so you'll take 3 trades every day. You think that's sustainable? You think you can be consistent with that? There's not a high-class setup every single day. So stop trading. I am trying to up my trading frequency, and the last week I had about 5 to 6 setups, maybe like 5. And this week I had none. I had none because market didn't give me no opportunities. So I didn't force my way to the markets. Because at the end, it's not trading that I want to do, it's money, right? Trading is all fun in that, but I would much rather get paid than get a dopamine, right? I get more dopamine from getting paid, from getting a payout, rather than getting dopamine from a trade. Because most of y'all are just searching for the dopamine as soon as you place your trade, and you get like 10 seconds. Yeah, I need to place myself. Then you place yourself, 10 seconds, feels so good, and then the trade starts going the opposite direction, and you're telling yourself like, why did I do this? If you're trading for dopamine, you'll not make it, right? And another point that I'm gonna go across is that in this level, we were talking about good trades and bad trades that were not conform to the plan, and I actually made one good trade that was a loss. And that's something that I want you guys to understand. What differentiates a good trade from a bad trade isn't the monetary result, is if you followed your plan or not. Like we talked about earlier, you have your win rate, and it's not 100%. So if it's not 100%, that doesn't mean because you lost money in the trade that the trade is invalid, is not conform to the plan. Because it is, right? If somebody if somebody wins money at the casino, doesn't mean the casino is running its stuff badly, right? It's common for someone to win. So focus on being a good trader, meaning following your plan, and the profits will naturally come, because you have your data set up in order to make money in the long run, right? Like we were talking about flipping a coin, you want to have that in the max amount of trades. Stop thinking about the outcome of the next trade. Think about your future. Think about being selective and then getting good profits within a year, right? And staying in the long run. Stop thinking about the next trade, the next trade, the next trade. Nah, think about the overall hundreds of trades, right? I don't know if I'm going to be profitable this month, but I know that there's a high chance I'll be profitable on the quarter, on the year, over 5 years. And that's the consistency you want. That's how you become rich. It's not by doing profit on the next trade, right? You might do profit on the next trade, but you did those by following bad habits. And you want to be following good habits that will allow you to get your edge statistics. Meaning, in the long run, you'll get profits, regardless if it's a win or a loss. I hope you understand this. Again, success in trading comes down to doing the work. There's this quote I like a lot, that trading is the hardest way to make easy money, right? It's easy money. It's clicking buttons, getting paid, right? But in order to achieve that level, it's hard as fuck. It's hard as fuck, right? To achieve the level of making easy money, it's super hard. And just because trading has a low barrier of entry, people, I don't know how, assume that it's easy. Oh, bro, you do trading? Oh, how about I give you my money, you double it, and blah, 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 and I'll give you like 20%. Like, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. If you know that in this industry, like 99% people lose. Like, someone that has never made anything in their life thinks they can just come here and make it and not doing any work, because they think it's easy money. Yes, it's easy, but it's the hardest way too. Because even if you're not willing to go into the work, doing the education, doing the backtesting, and doing the journaling, then live trading without a plan isn't trading, it's gambling. You're practically gambling, right? We're not gambling because we have an edge, we're following it, like the casino, okay? The casino is not gambling, right? The casino been open for 50 years, 100 years, some of them, right? And why is that? Because they have the edge on their side. They keep following their plan, which in the long run will give them profits. You have to do the same. You have to treat your trading the same. But for that, you have to first know your edge, and then have the psychology strength to actually stick with it, to actually stick with the plan. But that's the question of asking yourself, do you want dopamine or you want money? Because you can't control yourself to fucking not click a button. Trading will be a reflection of your life. I'm telling you that. If you really do some deep introspective into yourself, if you really know yourself, then you get to know your trading. Because trading is a reflection of your life. If your life is a mess, then your trading will be a mess, right? If somebody close to you dies, you're not going to have a clear head to trade. If your life is super deorganized and it's shit, your life's full of drama, then obviously your trading is not going to be the best. If you can't even be disciplined in real life with small stuff, then how can you be disciplined with a trading plan? Don't focus on making money. Your green days or red days aren't determined whether you made profit or lost money. It's whether you followed your plan or not. So focus yourself in following good habits, right? Because if you play alongside the plan, then in the long run you'll be paid. So guys, focus on following the good habits. meaning following the plan. Regardless if the day was green or red today. If the day was red, but you followed your plan, that's good. That's amazing, because later on, the profits will come. But if you didn't follow your plan and you made money, then that's bad, because maybe you got the lucky side of the 20% win rate that bad habit got you. Then you go into the markets the next day thinking about that risky trade that you took that gave you a win. But because you only got the 20% win rate of it, now you're getting paid with the other 80%. And so you keep doing it and you keep losing. Because that time you maybe got lucky. And the trade isn't conform to your plan. So you're just risking it. It's actually worse if you get a win on a trade that isn't conform to your plan, when you're not following your habits. Because then you will think about it and do it again. And in the long run, you lose, of course. So guys, do the opposite from the majority. Most people don't want to do the work. So you got to do what 99% aren't willing to do. Be the guy that's, he's weird, he's doing that trading stuff, he's never going to make it. And then and now all of a sudden you're no longer the weird guy. All of a sudden when you make it, you're the trader, you're the rich guy. But it wasn't success overnight. They don't see the countless of hours me and you are putting towards our goals. And not by dreaming, not by visualization, okay? Action, guys. This is my Google Calendar, even though I make it on a random week, putting at least 60 to 70 hours of work, productivity, no days off. If I don't take days off, why are you taking days off? Like, if you have a job, school, kids, and other responsibilities, I understand that, but everyone got those. Be realistic with yourself. Everyone got those. And so you're telling me all the successful people didn't have those? No, you're just making excuses for yourself and you're limiting your beliefs. And this is a powerful one. This is a powerful one you have to combat. Because if you don't believe that you can actually make money from trading, then you will never make money from trading yourself. Think about that. I also had that in a sense. I'm losing so much. How can these people make money from it? They must be all scammers, right? And that will damage you. The universe would put that reality that you're manifesting in front of you. You don't believe people can make it in trading, so why are you trading in the first place? And you're getting all the losses. And you're losing your money. Because that's your belief. So don't demotivate yourself for not seeing results either. Right? A couple of you guys are 2 months, 3 months, 6 months into this, and you're already crying about results. It took me 3 years to see results. To see some results. Don't rush the process, bro. Don't rush the process. You're going to hurt yourself by trying to rush the process. You're going to lose a lot of money like me on the blown challenges that I showed you. And it's not going to be good for you because you can actually lose, okay? In other domains, maybe you can rush the process. In trading, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Fast action, slow results. And fast action doesn't mean put trades. It means doing a lot of work. Doing a lot of work in the back end. Doing a lot of backtesting. Doing a lot of journaling. Doing a lot of data gathering. Okay? And just putting in the action. Not dreaming and waiting for the live markets to gamble. Fast action. Put in action. Towards the years. And then having that slow results coming out. Okay? 3 years might seem a lot to you. But what's 3 years in your life, right? And you got to understand that everyone has different paths. Everyone succeeds at a different pace, right? It took me 3 years, but for some it takes them 6 months if they go for the pay route, right? You got to understand, we're all different, and everyone succeeds at a different pace. And it also super depends on whether you started with a good information or bad information. Did you came into trading thinking about, oh, let me turn $1 into $1 million, let me get this Bugatti, you know what I'm saying? Or did he come to trading with a good trader that will teach you 2% per month consistently is a very good result. That's what the best traders do. Okay? We're talking about the 2% consistently on a high capital, right? We're not worried about making these crazy performances because we have the lower capital. Top firms came into the game and allowed us to make these small percentages on high capital. But even with that opportunity, you guys can't manage to do it because you're trying to rush the process. You're trying to rush the process. Like, who do you think is the better trader? The guys that does 20% but on a $100 account, or the guy that does 1% on a 100K account? Okay? This guy will make $20 despite his amazing performance. His capital is super low. This guy will make 1K. Okay? So who's the better trader? Because he made more money, but this guy made 20%. So you understand how capital is king, right? Stop trying to achieve these crazy performances that the good traders don't even try to go for. And the difference between somebody making it quick and somebody taking lots of years to even learn how to trade, become consistently profitable, is if they went for the paid route or the free route. Because you can learn how to trade for free, but if you pay, you can obviously achieve it way faster. I've invested around $2,000 on trading education. And the only regret I have was not spending more. Because most of it were just courses and no access to a mentor, like a one-to-one mentorship, where I could actually get to talk with the guy and he could tell me what I'm doing wrong and fix that on the spot. Don't you think the money that I blew on challenges that I showed you the screenshot of would be way better just by putting it towards mentorship? Okay? And it would also buy me time. Because it would never, it didn't need to take me 3 years. Maybe 1 year serious trying for myself and then actually putting the trigger into going to education and maybe succeeding in 6 months. That would buy me a lot more time. Wouldn't it better? Wouldn't be money better put towards education? And that's not me trying to sell my mentorship. That's really me talking to my younger self. And when I scream to the mic, it's the same thing. It's just give you tough love, or even just speaking to my younger self if he's watching this from somewhere. Okay? Because of course that money would be better spent on education. And all of the psychology things I was screaming about, most of you need that tough love. But I'm also talking to myself, my younger self, right? It's not me shouting here because I think you're just a piece of shit in trading. It's me actually caring for you and want the best for you. And you really need to hear this. And you need to hear this. And yeah, if I had invested more, especially on a one-to-one mentorship, it could have bought me way more time, right? I could have succeeded way faster. So ask yourself, how much is your time worth? Right? Because if it's not worth much to you, then yeah, you can learn how to trade for free. You can go to my channel, you can consume everything. And obviously the things are not step by step made. So you will have to dig into all the knowledge for yourself, pick up the little gems from here and there, and then actually become profitable. But even then, you're not going to have an access to a mentor, and you don't know if you're going to be doing everything correct. Because there's things, like I was saying, from the break-even traders that they do, but they don't even realize they're doing those mistakes, and it takes them some years to realize it. That's what I was doing the same mistakes for years, and then actually realizing when I was making what I was doing wrong. So if you need to learn how to trade for free because you don't have the capacities, then fine. Learn how to trade for free. Work, do your best, right? Take the shit seriously. Don't make excuses. You can still learn it for free. And I wish you all the best, my guy. But if you're from a first world country, you really have to, and you have the capacities, you really have to ask yourself how much is your time really worth, and when do you want to succeed? Because wouldn't it be better if you have the capacities, I mean, to manage to make it in 3 months, right? Rather than make it taking years like me. Because that's what I promise is consistently profitability within 3 months and actually achieve to live this life overseas, right? You can also do it a little trip or two if you're in a 9 to 5, but can you do it all the time though? It's the financial free that's important, right? How many 9 to 5ers you know that was petting a tiger, right? It's that crazy stuff. But if you're a trader, I think this is what you would like, in a sense. It's the financial freedom that it gives you, and the location freedom as well. And I've shown you a bit of my mentorship before, but I can show you a bit more of what it really entails. And you have all the perks right here if you want to read them. But the most important ones are obviously being the one-to-one calls, the training analysis and signals, and obviously the course modules, videos teaching you everything I know about trading. So if you're serious about learning how to trade within the next 3 months, because that's what I promised with my system, you can message me on either Instagram or Discord. Just be aware, I have a lot of scammers on Discord, so make sure you go into the Discord community, link in the description, and you talk to the guy that has the role of owner, okay? And if you're really, really serious, you can directly book a call with me using the link that will be in the description, the Candly link, okay? So you can maybe travel with me, live this life. Because reality, boys, the guys that join my mentorship become my friends. Become my friends, and I do my absolute best to make them profitable. Sometimes they even get surprised because I already taken the money from them, but I'm still putting in the work like they got a next check coming, and they don't. They already paid the mentorship. I'm not just throwing them on a course, not just throwing them on group calls and having them mic mute. They can actually talk with me. Okay, this is a one-to-one mentorship. You can go for the top guys in the space, sure, but it won't be one-to-one. You can't call your mentorship a one-to-one if you don't have access to a mentor and if you can't do one-to-one calls with him, right? Just me and you having a chat about your trading and actually me teaching you how to trade. You're not thrown into a course. You're not thrown into a group which you can't talk to. Okay? You have actually access to a mentor. For me, it doesn't matter. Regardless if you want to go with me or other guy that's way more successful than me. But I can promise you the guy that's more successful, he will either charge you more money or throw you into a course or a group. Right? And I understand why. Because his time is more valuable. But I'm at a different level where I still can allocate my time into teaching students privately how to trade and how to achieve those results. They got too much going on and they're already at level 100, right? I'm at level 10, you're at level 1, and I can get you to level 5, level 10 with me, right? Because I remember being in those levels. Those guys at level 100 can't barely remember how they managed to get from level 1 to level 2, right? And that's not me talking shit about them, right? I'm just telling you how it is, and I assume you're understanding what I mean. And then the purpose is to travel with them all together because we got clients from all over the world, and it would be sick to meeting them. But boys, another thing, I'm only opening 5 more spots, okay? Because like I said, this is a one-to-one mentorship, so I can't focus myself on lots of people, okay? The money would be huge if I just got in 50 people, 100 people, but that wouldn't be sustainable. And the mentorship would be completely shit because I couldn't focus on everybody. So I'm constantly monitoring their progress, as you could have seen on the Notion page, right? On the structure that we got for each student. And so I'm only opening 5 more spots, and these are not guaranteed. Like, regardless if you got the money or not, if you come to me with some mindset of turning $1 into a million, or you think that you're gonna pay me and you're instantly gonna become profitable and not gonna do no work, I promise you I will not take your money. I'll not take your money even if you want to pay me. Okay? I only want serious people, people that I see potential in and will actually make it in the end. Okay? And even if you're watching this late, you can still try your luck and message me. I would say still give it a shot, because I'm always reopening more spots as soon as members complete their 12-week mentorship. And yeah, like I've said, if I see that we connect and I see potential in you and I see that you're willing to put in the work, then you're more than free to come join my mentorship and actually also build a friendship and connection with me. Because the guys that are in my mentorship, I even invite them to my house. I'm living in a villa in Portugal, as you might have seen, and I invite them to the house. I have people living in different parts of the world, and I'm telling them I'm going to visit them. If you're really serious about it, DM me on Instagram or Discord, or you can directly book a call in the Canley if you're actually serious. If you still have some questions, obviously I will answer them on the Instagram, and we'll get on the call to see if you're a good fit for the mentorship and if the mentorship is a good fit for you, of course. If it doesn't align with your goals, I will not sell it to you. And if you're not a good fit for the mentorship, I will not sell you either. So yeah, guys, I hope this video has been super valuable for you. Okay? I hope you took a bunch of value from the trading and psychology lessons that we got. This has been a long one, a super valuable one. And repeat this if you have to. Don't let some of the stuff go through your head. And if you want to become profitable, you can either DM me, like I said, or you can do the work of watching all my YouTube videos. Okay? Even the day in the life, there's some live trading and trade breakdowns there. Okay? Because I do not keep the information private. I share everything. And then on the mentorship, I sell the implementation. I tell people the steps they gotta take. I tell people directly what mistakes they are making and they are not seeing. And so please leave a like, subscribe, give me some feedback on the comments if you enjoyed this or not, and have a good day, boys.